Then some player shit. Hip hop haven, we react to hip hop culture, not a lousy trick. I done made 1,000 flips. Robin Devin hit the scene and they react to it. Latest trends, music news, they do all of it. Hip hop haven, hip hop haven, hip hop haven. Hope you tuning in. Don't forget the big hip hop haven. Hey, big hip hop haven. Hope you tuning in.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Big Hip Hop Haven.
Don't forget your big, welcome back.
So today we're back at it, continuing down our road down the Ren chapter. And this is chapter 2. So yeah, chapter 1 was intense. And I'm ready for chapter 2, but since he already did for Joe, right? I think it's probably going to be something a little bit more I don't know. I don't know where the story going to go from here, because you know what I mean? That at least the sad part is done.
No, it ain't.
Hopefully it don't get worse. Like, it can't get worse than the 2 things he already introduced. We'll see. I want to see if it skips some years or does it just continue. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it. We're in chapter 2.
A year of living in a nightmarish purgatory does strange things to your psyche. I was still trying to push through university, but I found myself missing many lectures to stay in bed. I started noticing more unusual symptoms creeping in, a strange buzzing sensation in the soles of my feet. My vision started looking like fuzzy television static, something that I later learned was called visual snow, something with no known origin. My calf muscles started constantly twitching and spasming. At any moment, they wouldn't go longer than 20 seconds without twitching, and that can drive you a bit nuts. All these symptoms I still live with to this day. You just become very used to tolerating constant discomfort. It becomes kind of the norm and kind of becomes like an annoying, unsettling radio static in the background of existence. I stopped taking my antidepressants after having cycled many different kinds. None of them helped. All of them gave me some new kind of symptom or side effect, like insomnia, dry mouth, heart palpitations, no libido, etc.
Need medicine for your medicine.
Bruh. First minute in, just hearing, it's just bad. Like,
and this is the way he lives with to this day. Come on.
Till this day. So don't tell me stuff like that. Like,
come on.
Get this nigga a hug, bro.
I spent a lot of my time alone, but in the moments of respite, I'd hang out with friends. We formed a band called Trick the Fox the year before I'd gotten sick. It was the one ray of sunshine I had at the time. I quickly became friends with the bass player called Charlie, and we developed some kind of musical telepathy where we both knew what the other was going to play before it even happened. It was the first musician I've ever felt this kind of chemistry with. I became a kind of third wheel in his Momoko's relationship. With time, Momoko became like a sister to me. To this day, it's one of my favorite people on this spinning rock. Performing with Trick the Fox was one of the rare times that I felt free. There was something about the duty of having to entertain others that let me escape the physical limitations of my own sick body, even if just for a moment. I usually pay for it the next day with what can only be described as an energy hangover where I'd be stuck in bed all day. But for me, that was worth it. Those days, I was still fairly functional. It was around this time I started losing faith in the medical industry. The more appointments I'd go to, adamant that something was wrong, the more of a hypochondriac they treat me as. Medical gaslighting is a real thing with chronic illness. They chalk me down as someone who was always requesting blood tests.
Medical gaslighting. So I didn't know that was a term, but yeah, I'm glad he said it, because we were talking about that in chapter 1, where you're taking your child to people practicing medicine are supposed to be able to help you, but if I feel like they got to be able to tell you up front, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just attempting stuff. Like, because I do IT, and if I'm troubleshooting something, I don't have any problem saying, hey, this is a new issue. I've never seen this before, but we're going to figure it out. Versus, oh, no, you just crazy or something like that. Or take this. Like, you can't just try medicines like that when they have side effects. That's crazy. That should be a lawsuit, G.
appointments I'd go to, adamant that something was wrong, the more of a hypochondriac they treat me as. Medical gaslighting is a real thing with chronic illness. They chalk me down as someone who was always requesting blood tests, and my mental health diagnosis probably didn't help that. Strangely, they never tested me for any kind of pathogens. I decided to embark on a precarious journey into the Russian roulette chamber of Dr. Google. I would type in the most predominant symptom of the day, and Dr. Google would tell me that I have a rare disease and I'm probably going to die. With time, I sharpened my search engine axe and refined what I was looking for. I dived headfirst into the abyss of online support groups, hoping to find solace or answers amongst fellow sufferers. We were like crabs in a barrel. Very rarely, someone would find their silver bullet and announce what it was that cured them. Hundreds of people would follow their protocol, some with mild success, but most of us will still remain trapped. I joined as many online support groups as I could. It was a bit like the beginning of Fight Club, except instead of faking conditions to feel accepted, I was desperately hoping I had those conditions so I could cure myself and get the fuck out. I convinced myself I had conditions like candida, magnesium deficiency, parasites, adrenal fatigue, heavy metal poisoning, etc. At the time, I felt like I was single-handedly keeping Jeff Bezos in business. While most students were spending their student loan on drinks, I'd spend mine on the supplement or protocol of the week. I'd follow whatever herbal or supplement protocol was suggested, sometimes noticing mild improvement and sometimes getting a lot worse, most of the time feeling nothing. A story would pop up on one of these groups like, after I did a 30-day parasite cleanse of wormwood, cloves and garlic, all my symptoms disappeared. I'd read a story like this, get full of hope and put myself through a grueling 30 days, which was often result in a worsening of symptoms. My body felt even sicker and weaker, but I'd stick it out because I was told that this was a good sign. The parasites are dying. I peered into the toilet bowl and valiantly waved goodbye as I flushed their imaginary corpses into a watery abyss. At the end of the 30 days, I'd be left with a lighter wallet and all my symptoms still remaining. And if that didn't work,
What's on your mind?
I'm not a medical professional, but there are a lot of scammers out here that are trying to just sell you stuff. You got to be careful because this wild, wild west called the internet, everyone's out for $1. Like, if you notice, everything got an ad on it. Even our YouTube channels, our channel has ads on it. Like, they won't really make no money from it, but they be trying to sell you some stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, if you don't see me or him say it out our mouths that we selling it, we don't endorse it. Like, we don't know. You gotta ask us or something. Like, because we buying stuff. Like, God.
waved goodbye as I flushed their imaginary corpses into a watery abyss. At the end of the 30 days, I'd be left with a lighter wallet and all my symptoms still remaining. And if that didn't work, I'd move on to what was next. Maybe I have seasonal affective disorder. All right. So I'd get on the internet, order a light, stare at it for 10 minutes a day. And to my big fucking surprise, still have all my symptoms. The only thing that light illuminated for me was that I was desperate enough to buy a glorified table lamp. I kid you not when I say that over the years, I probably have taken nearly every dietary health supplement known to man. One of the most grueling self-treatment courses came when I did around-the-clock heavy metal chelation. I would take a supplement called ALA and DMSA, which supposedly shuttle mercury molecules out of your body through a process called chelation. I would have to take the pill once every 3 hours around the clock, which meant setting multiple alarm clocks to wake up and take them. The supplements came with their own side effects. I remember one time standing in a supermarket and feeling like the sounds and lights were so bright that I couldn't even bear to be in there. I stopped with this protocol for a whole year with no luck. I was still coming to terms with the death of one of my best friends during this time too. I was too sick to hold down any kind of stable job, so I was mostly living off my student loan. Welsh students study in England also weirdly get given a small sum of money just for being Welsh, or almost like a "we're really sorry that you're Welsh" sort of condolence prize. I've always prided myself on my financial independence, so whenever I could, I'd get out on the streets of Bath and I'd busk. I remember the very first time I did. I had my guitar in hand. I perched myself on a bench, took a deep breath, and then bared my soul to the jury of the street. And it was exhilarating. People sometimes ask me what music means to me, and it means life. This was usually the one time I felt like I didn't want to die. This was the one time I could feel a resemblance of something that resembled spirit, that resembled my soul, that resembled me. I even found myself cracking jokes with onlookers, which for someone dripping with social anxiety at the time was huge for me. It was March, roughly 3 months after Joe had died, and I was sitting on a bench in Bath with my guitar singing into a busy street. And this is when I would meet the first angel of this story. I'd see 2 more angels years later.
Thank God. We need some good news. I'm not gonna hold you.
Like at the end of the turn.
We need that. Like, and I didn't know busking meant getting on the street corners. I didn't know that's what busking was. And I've seen him put that on a couple of his videos that have been requested. We haven't got to them yet.
The more you know.
Yeah.
And this is when I would meet the first angel of this story. I'd see 2 more angels years later. One in the guise of a homeless man, one a doctor cheating death in the Beverly Hills clinic. But that bit will come a little bit later. The angel was walking on the opposite side of the street with a mother. They both stopped to watch me for a moment. I saw her mum whisper something to her. The angel turned bright red and she giggled and they shyly approached. We got talking and the angel asked where I was from. I told her that I grew up in Wales in a small village that was once described in a local newspaper as being worse than an Iraqi war scene. I told them they would have never heard of it. They looked surprised and they said they had family there. I asked which part and it turned out to be the village that I grew up in. Since you can basically count a population of 2 intergenerationally bred mutated hands, I asked who they were. And it turned out that that angel happened to be Joe's cousin. This encounter was always a foundational moment of serendipity in my life. In the years that followed, I took serendipitous occasions to mean I was in line with my purpose. Sometimes I felt like I'm following a script. It's just that I don't know the words or actions until they actually happen. But in moments of serendipity, I feel like they are playing out exactly as they were meant to. It was quite a bizarre moment for me that hundreds of miles away by chance this angel would be related to my lost friend. Upon learning who I was, they invited me back to theirs for a cup of tea, and I accepted and I fell in love. It was really good tea. That week, the angel took me to a favorite botanical garden and she pointed out a favorite flower. So that night, true story, I dressed in black, broke in by climbing over the fence, dug up the flower and presented it to her the next day. She called me insane, but it's safe to say that angel ended up being my first serious girlfriend. It was a weird kind of relationship.
Sounds manic to me.
Sounds what?
Manic.
What that mean?
He's bipolar, so he's like high is very impulsive.
That's
really think about
that's very impulsive.
consequences of your actions.
So he fell in love with Joe's cousin, hundreds of miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We both shared an unusual trauma for people who were so young, brought together by a tragedy. Even though sometimes I feel like she might have hated me at the time, I was convinced like it was some sort of Shakespearean fate that had brought us together, a morbidity that birthed light, that it couldn't be anything else. It felt like divine intervention. She was pretty troubled in her own way, and I was very troubled in mine. But in between the sludge of dealing with the constant symptoms, it was beautiful. That summer, her parents took us to Centre Parks, which is a posher version of Butlins, if you don't know, where they paid for all the activities and meals, and they let me do whatever I wanted. Coming from a poorer family, I wasn't really used to being spoiled to that degree, but I figured I'd just roll with it. One morning while I was there, I got a call from my friend Sega, and he sounded pretty mixed up, so I asked him what was wrong. He told me that there was no easy way to say it, but one of my other best friends, Callum, had died. He'd gone cliff jumping in the same cliffs we used to jump off as kids. The sea was particularly choppy that day, and he caught a cross current and he started to drown. Another guy that he was with had jumped in and attempted.
God damn. I ain't gonna hold you. That's one of my work. I used to be a lifeguard back in the day, so that's one of my worst fears, to drown or be. I'd rather be burned alive. I think it would be way quicker because
No, wouldn't.
yes, it would, because drowning. The reason why is because when you drown, like we had to go through like a little simulation,
Drop a piano,
and you got to feel like your lungs. No, they fill up and then they explode. That's how you what really happens. So, hell no, I ain't.
Drop a piano on my head.
Yeah,
Or
12-gun salute. I'd rather go out that
rapture
way.
me up.
Go out like Scarface. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah,
that day, and he caught a cross current and he started to drown. Another guy that he was with had jumped in and attempted to save him, and they both drowned. The first day I met Callum, I was 11.
Hold on.
Yeah, you didn't hear that. You
Hold
try
on,
to save
what?
him, and he drowned too. Drown people. That's what they say.
Yeah, because you got to let the person
You
see
gotta
as a
relax.
lifeguard.
You can't panic.
No, as the lifeguard, you got to let the person you're rescuing, if they are doing all that flailing and stuff, let them drown, pull them out, and then save them. You can do CPR and bring them back real quick. Because if they're doing all that flailing, they can knock you out unconscious, and now ain't nobody here there to save nobody. That's why. But I don't know what he said is a current. So maybe the current did it. Who
Crazy.
knows? Hopefully, damn.
Jumping in the same cliffs we used to jump off as kids. The sea was particularly choppy that day, and he caught a cross current and he started to drown. Another guy that he was with had jumped in an attempt to save him, and they both drowned. The first day I met Callum, I was 11. He was in a year above me in high school and used to walk around with these massive baggy bright orange jeans. He hung around with all the goth kids and I thought they looked super cool. So the next day I painted my nails black and fashioned a necklace out of a severed extension cable from an old VCR machine. I infiltrated the group and I gained their trust. Not long after, me and Callum were friends, wandering around beautiful Welsh countryside looking for the most scenic places to smoke weed. We stayed friends throughout high school and I truly loved him. When Callum died, I couldn't properly grieve. I felt weirdly numb after losing Joe. I'd often feel guilty for my inability to cry at the time. A couple of years later, I'd learned another friend of mine that I used to play function gigs with had thrown himself off a cliff face in Dover. And again, I felt numb.
What the hell is going on with whales and people jumping off of stuff? What's happening? They jumping off stuff for fun, jumping off stuff to end it. What the hell is going on? I've heard of whales, but I've heard from whales from like movies and stuff, right? It seemed like a nice place. He not describing it as no nice place.
Every place has its struggles, bro.
But this joint seemed like what the why y'all can't just stay on the ground?
Get help.
Yes, and I would think if it's so he's saying it's small, I would think a small knit community would be more conducive to happiness than like a city like where we live, like you know what I mean, where you don't know even probably your neighbors, like
no telling.
I couldn't tell if this new acceptance of the inevitability of death was a beautifully liberating thing, or if it was a sign that my humanity was slipping away. To this day, death has kind of remained a bit of a matter-of-fact part of my life. During my years of sickness, I had to crawl through a morbid longing to be killed by my illness to find a more peaceful acceptance that death is just an inevitable consequence of life and it doesn't spare anyone. That never left, and I haven't ever really been scared of dying since. Some days I've tempted it. What I'm more scared of is having to live my whole life as a sick person. In my relationship with death, the most healing moment occurred just 2 years ago. My grandmother, who I loved to pieces, was dying, but I actually got the chance to say goodbye this time, to hold her hand, to thank her for being alive. I remember not long before she passed, she was lying in a hospital bed, and she was very weak and very pale, barely able to open her eyes. I asked how she was, and it seemed like a stupid question as soon as it left my mouth. She paused for a long moment, and she turned her head to look at me, and she opened her eyes, and she smiled, and she said she felt happy. And it was just one word, happy, which was simple, and it was beautifully profound. And that was one time I'd gotten a chance to say goodbye. And it was the first time that I hoped that one day I would die happy. The following year, I would achieve something beyond my wildest dreams, and then I would lose it almost as soon as it came. Stay tuned for that.
I ain't even ready for that. I'm not gonna hold you.
What do you think it is? Don't guess. You're gonna ruin it. Stay tuned.
I don't wanna hear no words today, because they pull me under. In the castle of my room, I'll hide away from the outside thunder. Gonna lock my troubles outside of this door, 'cause today it's just me and these four walls. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Hey, oh. Said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. The light that I hold, it turns to gray, and that makes me wonder, will I always feel this way? So far under, but I put my soul on show for everyone to see, 'cause even though it's brutal.
The hell is on the guitar?
Jamming.
Yeah.
Mm.
The hell on the guitar?
Is it Callahan?
Always feel
Boy,
this
crazy.
so far under, but I put my soul on show for everyone to see. Cause even though it's bruised, I know it holds such beauty. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. Nobody here but me today, but that makes me stronger. Cause I wash away the pain under sheets of feather. Wanna lock my troubles outside of this door. Cause today it's just me and these four walls. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. I pray relief in solitude. I search for peace, but pain pursues. Please, something, just free me, give me some truth. My head's a prison, I need to move. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, say oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place. I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run, yeah, oh. I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run, I said I wanna run, yeah, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place, yeah, oh. I said I wanna run away, fly to another place, fly to another place.
He was jamming.
How old was he then?
Come on, he looked like he was like 15, 16.
Yeah,
Jamming.
he been nice.
Come
Little-
on.
That sound like it should be on like Disney Channel. Not gonna hold you. The song.
That was
It was a
fire.
nice flow. I love the whoever's doing all the the instrumentals, the breakdowns,
Fire.
the drummer, the guitarist, him.
I can hear that song
Yeah.
in like a movie.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a
Wild
Target,
Thornberrys.
or, you know,
Rocket Power.
a nice series.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
right.
What was the Disney Channel joint where they were doing the skateboarding? Brink?
Right?
Yeah, I can definitely hear it on that. Like, it makes sense.
I'm mad we know that. You just showed our age.
Right? Y'all let us know what
Both
y'all
of 'em.
think down in the comments below. I'm not gonna lie. The song at the end
Fire.
changed up the
I
vibe.
needed it. What's
We
up?
yeah. Shout out to you, Ren. We can't cry our eyes out on camera. We not doing that for you. We not.
He
You're
was
not
jamming.
gonna have us crying up here on
Not today.
not up in here.
Not up in here.
I love the fact that he kind of switched up that vibe. You know what I mean? And that song, I mean, he got some nice melody
I'm
riffs
down.
in that joint. Yeah, that's nice. I like that joint.
I got
Yup.
a feeling it's gonna go crazy in my car too.
Yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think about this down in the comments. We're going to
Wanna know.
continue the journey. Let us know when you're ready for it. And then, you know what I mean, we'll try to get that done.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're dropping them in order. So y'all told us to make sure. I asked, y'all said do them in order. We're going to get there.
More
You
rain
know what I
coming.
mean?
Shout out
Yeah.
to all the renegades out
You
there.
dig? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. We don't know what it does yet, but
What's up?
hit that joint. It's a
What's
button.
up?
Just click it. Like,
What's up?
yeah. Shout out to y'all, all the renegades. This has been another episode of Big Hip Hop Haven.
Don't forget the
And
big.
until next time, we out.
Made that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, you ain't cut right. From the same cloth, homie, what it look like. I ain't here just to kick it, get the books right. This official business, bro, we ain't point like. I can promise this, let me say, okay. If you coming with the bull, I say ole. Listen well, listen here, it ain't no fake. On some real killer like Ghostface. On the beats though, we remain calm when it's hostile. We were working in the back of the house though, hitting every sense on why we got home. You can feel the vibes in your nostrils. What are the buckles? Status in Baco. On the block though, the whole summer mine. I know it shock you. Hold a future king, never front on me. You just wanna be, why I'm gonna be. Word to the outcome. You are not a boss if you got one. I am not the one to stop and lock doors. You ain't high, ho. You a cockroach. On my mama though, word to the outcome. You are not a boss if you got one. I am not the one to stop and lock doors. You ain't high, ho. You a cockroach. On my mama though. In and out. One time. In and out. We gon' do it one time. In and out. One time. In and out. Only got 2 days. Full time, go get a knee, big plays. You a two-tone nigga on some two-face. You been too-fake, I see your bitch face. You a ugly nigga, real talk. Heard on the hotline, not about how. It won't my time yet, but I'm hot now. It's about time, yet in the spot now. This is my crown, feeling hostile. Word what I stand on. I can back up everything I said, ho. You say you a king, no one care though. You say you a G, no one scared though. I'm about mines, everybody drop now. On the flow, view. You may know the name, I don't know you. What I'm gonna do next, they don't know few. Cause I don't talk much, but I can show you. Word to the outcome. You are not a boss if you got one. I am not the one to stop and lock doors. You ain't high, ho. You a cockroach. On my mama though, word to the outcome. You are not a boss if you got one. I am not the one to stop and lock doors. You ain't high, ho. You a cockroach. On my mama though. In and out. One time. In and out. We gon' do it one time. In and out. One time. In and out. Only got one chance. In and out. One time. In and out. Do it. In and out. Got one life and it's in and out. Real talk, 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 talk.